imagine your skin, but not just as skin. Think of it like a high-tech interface.
Right. Packed with sensors.
Exactly. Constantly monitoring your health, maybe even spotting problems before you feel them.
And linking up with your medical devices seamlessly?
Sounds like pure science fiction, doesn't it? Like something out of a movie.
It really does, but
Huh.
it's not.
No, it's actually happening. This is electronic skin technology and, well, it's becoming a huge deal in medicine. Financially explosive, actually.
Absolutely.
So, welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping right into this world electronic skin tech in the medical market. And just so you know, all our insights today, the numbers, the forecasts, they're coming straight from the Electronic Skin Technology and Medical Market 2025 Global Report. That's via Cognitive Market Research.
A really comprehensive source.
Definitely. So our mission, yours and ours, is pretty clear. We want to unpack these numbers, really get a handle on the scale of growth around the world.
See where the money's flowing.
Yes, and figure out where this pretty transformative tech is making the biggest waves financially. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
Okay, starting big picture globally. The financial path for electronic skin in medicine is, it's kind of mind-blowing.
The trajectory is steep.
It is. So get this. Back in 2021, the global sales revenue was just under $1.2 billion.
Okay.
Now, fast forward to 2025, the expectation is it'll nearly double, over $2 billion.
Wow, in just 4 years.
Right. But then look out to 2033. The projection is it absolutely skyrockets. We're talking over $6.5 billion.
$6.5 billion, that's significant.
It's huge. And that works out to a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 15.375%. That's really robust growth year on year.
It really is. 15% CAGR is nothing to sneeze at in any market, let alone one this cutting edge.
So, expert, these numbers are massive, but maybe for listeners still picturing sci-fi, what is it about electronic skin that makes it so transformative? Is it the materials, the data?
Yeah.
What's fueling this?
Yeah, it's really a mix of breakthroughs coming together. I mean, a big part is the materials themselves. We're talking flexible, stretchable stuff.
Like it moves with your body.
Exactly. Specialized polymers, advanced conductive inks, things like that, so the sensors can stick right on the skin comfortably.
Okay.
And that lets them collect data constantly. Vital signs, biochemical markers, you name it, all without getting in the way of your life.
Right, continuous monitoring.
And that stream of personal health data, that's the game changer. That's what's really driving this market shift. It's not just about selling cool gadgets. That rapid growth, that CAGR we mentioned, it signals something bigger, a real shift in healthcare investment. We're moving away from just treating problems after they happen.
Or spotting them early. Proactive care.
Precisely, towards proactive, continuous monitoring. It's basically a big bet on preventative care because everyone sees the huge economic and health upsides of catching things early.
That's a really important distinction. It's moving from niche tech to potentially a core part of preventative healthcare. But, with any new tech this big, are there hurdles? Could regulations or maybe ethical concerns about all that data slow this down? Or is it really unstoppable like the numbers suggest?
Oh, there are definitely challenges. I mean, the momentum looks strong, but it's not totally frictionless.
Like what?
Well, data privacy and security are huge. You're collecting very personal health information continuously, so getting the regulations right around that is critical.
Makes sense.
And then there's the technical side, standardizing how these devices perform, making sure they can talk to each other, interoperability, that kind of thing.
Right.
But honestly, the demand for better, easier healthcare solutions is so strong, and R&D keeps pushing forward. So while these challenges are real and they're being worked on, they probably won't stop the overall growth. The potential benefits are just, well, they're too compelling.
Okay, that paints a clear global picture. Let's zoom in a bit. Let's talk regions, starting with North America. It really seems like a leading frontier here.
Definitely a powerhouse.
Yeah, the overall North American market was, over $437 million back in 2021?
Right.
And it's projected to climb past $2.3 billion by 2033. The CAGR there is also strong, nearly 15%.
Very solid growth.
And here's what gets really interesting within North America.
Yeah.
The U.S. is just dominant.
Yeah. The U.S. numbers are massive.
Right. It went from about $364 million in 2021, projected to hit almost $1.9 billion by 2033. That alone basically anchors the whole region's growth.
It really does.
But Canada and Mexico aren't small players either. They show really healthy growth rates, too. Canada's actually got a slightly higher CAGR than the U.S.
That's interesting. Yeah, Canada looking at around 67 million by 2025, heading towards 217 million. Mexico, similar track, 63 million by 2025, up to about 193 million by 2033.
So, expert, beyond just the sheer size, what makes the U.S. such a hotbed for this tech? Is it investment, innovation culture?
It's a combination, really. The U.S. has this very robust innovation ecosystem, right? Lots of research universities, a ton of venture capital flowing.
Right, the funding helps.
Definitely. And the healthcare system itself, complicated as it is, tends to adopt advanced technologies pretty quickly, especially if they promise better outcomes or maybe lower long-term costs. Plus, you just have this culture of embracing new tech. For Canada and Mexico, it's maybe more about adopting technologies that are proven, integrating them into their systems. Things like remote monitoring for chronic diseases are big drivers there.
Gotcha. Okay, let's hop across the Atlantic. Europe, also painting a picture of really steady expansion.
Yeah, solid growth in Europe, too.
They started at over 277 million in 2021, and the forecast, almost 1.5 billion by 2033. The CAGR is right up there with North America, nearly 15%.
Very comparable growth rates, yeah.
Now, let's dig into Europe a bit. Germany seems to be leading the charge. Highest CAGR in the region, over 15.7%.
Germany's often strong in medtech.
Yeah, they're projected to hit almost 300 million by 2033. The UK and France are also significant players.
UK around 237 million by 2033. France about 180 million. Italy, Spain, Sweden also showing good numbers.
Wow. But then you see Russia with a noticeably lower CAGR, around 13.4%. What causes those kinds of differences within one continent, especially given that Europe generally has advanced healthcare?
That's a great question. It highlights that even within a region like Europe, things aren't uniform.
Yeah.
Germany, for example, has a really strong base in pharmaceuticals and medical devices.
Right.
Plus advanced healthcare, lots of R&D. They're just set up to adopt and integrate this stuff quickly.
Okay.
Whereas a country like Russia, with a lower CAGR, might have different factors at play. Maybe a different regulatory environment, maybe slower adoption because of how their healthcare is structured.
Or investment level.
Or investment levels, exactly. Public and private investment in new tech can vary a lot. It just shows how local policy, the economy, healthcare priorities, they all shape how quickly new tech, like electronic skin, gets picked up.
That makes sense. Even smaller countries like Denmark, Switzerland, Luxembourg are showing KGRs in the 14% range. Pretty widespread growth.
Absolutely. The rest of Europe category is also substantial, growing steadily.
Okay, let's head east now, Asia Pacific.
Yeah.
This region's growth story is, well, maybe even more compelling.
Yeah, APAC's growth is really taking off.
It actually has the highest regional KGR globally, over 16%.
16.37%, yeah. That's impressive.
The overall market there was just under 300 million in 2021, but it's forecast to explode to over 1.8 billion by 2033.
Huge potential being realized there.
So China is the biggest market in pure dollar terms, set to cross $500 million by 2033. Huge internal market.
Makes sense, given the population and economic growth.
But, expert, check this out. The country with the highest AGR in the entire region is India, over 17%.
India, really? Wow.
Yeah. Why do you think India is surging so fast in this specific tech?
That is fascinating. It probably points to a few key things happening together. India has a massive population, right? And often, healthcare access is a challenge. So you have rising healthcare spending, plus this huge, young, tech-savvy population that might be really open to new, non-invasive health monitoring, like electronic skin.
So a potential leapfrog effect, skipping older infrastructure.
Exactly. It could be a leapfrogging situation. Instead of building out loads of traditional clinics, maybe they jump straight to digital health solutions like this, which can be more cost-effective and reach more people, especially for diagnostics and monitoring.
Interesting. And we also see Japan, South Korea, Singapore, the established tech hubs growing strongly too.
Right. Japan nearing 300 million by 2033. South Korea over 150 million. Singapore's got a very high KGR as well, almost 17%.
And Southeast Asia as a whole is showing significant momentum, also close to 17% CAGR.
Yeah, that collective growth in Southeast Asia is definitely noteworthy. Taiwan's also growing fast. It's really a dynamic region for this technology.
Okay, shifting focus again, let's look south to South America. It's labeled an emerging market, but the growth numbers are surprisingly strong.
Yeah, don't underestimate South America here. The CAGR is projected at almost 15.7%.
Which is right up there with the leading regions. It started at about 73 million in 2021, projected to hit over 422 million by 2033.
solid numbers.
Brazil is the biggest piece of that pie, forecast to reach over 171 million.
Brazil often leads in the region economically.
But here's another interesting one. Argentina has the highest CAGR in South America, over 16.2%.
Argentina, okay.
Given that emerging markets sometimes face economic headwinds, what's driving such fast adoption of a pretty advanced tech like electronic skin in places like Argentina?
Yeah, you're right to point out the context. Often in South America, the driver is about accessibility, finding healthcare solutions that need fewer resources.
Makes sense.
Electronic skin is great for remote patient monitoring. That helps reach rural areas or take some pressure off crowded city hospitals.
So it fills a specific need.
Exactly. Argentina's high growth might point to a focused government push for digital health or maybe strong private sector investment filling a gap. But you see Colombia, Peru, Chile all growing well too, around 15 to 16% CAGR. So the technology's appeal seems pretty broad across the continent.
Okay, let's move to the Middle East, also showing significant market development.
Another region with strong growth.
Overall, mid-CAGR over 15.6%, starting near 50 million in 2021, projected to cross 280 million by 2033.
So roughly 284 million, yeah. Good trajectory.
Key players: Saudi Arabia heading towards 73 million by 2033. Turkey actually has the highest CAGR there, nearly 16%.
Turkey's growth is notable, yeah.
And the UAE is right up there too, with CAGR over 16% as well.
Right.
Now, we know some countries in the Middle East, like the UAE and Saudi Arabia, are investing heavily in high-tech infrastructure, smart cities.
Huge investments, yes.
Does that give them a unique advantage in adopting something like electronic skin?
I think it does, actually. That's a sharp observation.
Right.
When you're building smart cities, integrating cutting-edge health tech is often part of the plan.
So they build it in from the start.
Potentially, yeah. They might be able to adopt innovations like electronic skin faster because they aren't always dealing with legacy systems that need overhauling. They can build state-of-the-art healthcare systems incorporating this tech. Turkey's growth also suggests a strong internal push for modernizing healthcare. And Egypt, Qatar, they're part of this trend too.
Fascinating. Okay, last region on our tour.
Yeah.
Africa. Described as having rising potential.
Definitely a region to watch.
The market was valued around 47 million in 2021, projected to reach over 267 million by 2033. The CAGR is solid, almost 15%.
So, still very healthy growth even if starting from a smaller base.
Within Africa, South Africa has the largest share currently, poised to cross $100 million by 2033, and it also boasts the region's highest CAGR at over 15.5%.
South Africa often leads in tech adoption on the continent.
Nigeria is also a significant player, projected to hit over 53 million.
Big population, growing economy.
So, expert, what are the main things pushing electronic skin adoption in Africa? The healthcare needs must be pretty diverse across the continent.
They are very diverse, you're right. But the drivers are often very practical, very impactful. Think about remote monitoring again.
Access issues.
Exactly. In areas with few clinics or doctors, electronic skin offers a way to monitor patients, manage chronic conditions like diabetes or heart issues without them needing to travel constantly.
That's huge.
It really is. South Africa's lead probably comes from its more developed healthcare infrastructure and maybe more investment capacity compared to some neighbors. Nigeria's growth reflects its sheer size and likely growing awareness of preventative health. But overall, the tech offers a way to bridge major gaps in healthcare access and make things more efficient. That's why it's valuable across many African nations.
Wow. Okay. So we've really covered the globe here. What does this all mean? We've just gone through this deep dive into, well, it's extraordinary innovation, isn't it?
It really is.
And this widespread, super fast financial growth of electronic skin tech in medicine. From the big players like North America and Asia Pacific to these really dynamic emerging markets everywhere else, the numbers aren't just talking, they're shouting.
They really are. This tech is clearly on a fast track.
An undeniable, accelerated trajectory.
And if we connect this back to the bigger picture, right? These market figures, they're not just abstract numbers. They represent a real fundamental shift in what's possible in healthcare globally. This kind of widespread financial growth tells us electronic skin is moving firmly out of the lab.
Out of theory.
Exactly, into...
As electronic skin keeps growing financially at this incredible pace, how might it actually change our day-to-day lives when it comes to health? Our interactions with healthcare, with wellness, maybe over the next, say, 10 years?
Yeah, think about that. How could it empower you to manage your own health differently? How might it change a simple visit to the doctor? It's definitely something to ponder.